Well, hello everyone, back for another update. I'm currently on the side of Middle Mountain. Summit is right up in that direction. Now following this faint trail. As there are no official trails on this mountain. Today is November 30th, 2025. And yeah, I'm not going to go to the top today because it's very late in the afternoon. I'm basically following this faint trail here. And I'm going to start to head back down. But what I'm going to talk about today is a sudden change to much colder weather and a much colder weather pattern. And the reason for this is the MJO has, in a short period of time, significantly changed. For so long we've had convection in phase 4, 5, and 6 simultaneously, or at least 2 out of the 3 going on. It's caused me to suspect manipulation of the MJO is going on. But the last week or so, the convection disappeared from 4. It's still in phase 4, but 5 and 6, especially phase 5, there's almost no convection now. And you look at the difference in the weather pattern. How much colder the U.S. has suddenly gotten. And there's, at the same time convection disappeared from those 2 zones, convection developed in the phase 7 and 8 and even 1 zones, which is now dominating. There still is some convection in phase 4 zone of the MJO, which is a warm phase, but it's being overshadowed by a lot of convection in 7, 8, and 1. So the pattern has changed to a colder pattern. And I'm hitting over these blowdowns here. Yeah, it has changed to a colder pattern in the U.S. as a result, which could sustain itself for a while because we don't have the convection in all 3 zones anymore, drowning out the MJO like it has been so many times in the past. And that is why last year we had the winter was colder, because for at least some of the time similar thing happened. So the question is, are they losing control of the MJO? It's possible they might be. There's only so much you can do to enhance convection. Eventually you run out of fuel to do it. Plus we got these sudden stratospheric warming events, as I've touched on. And what that is the Earth giving up its heat to space. It comes up through the stratosphere and causes warming events. So, there's a view across the valley. And clouds from the weather system up in the Midwest. It's bringing all the snow up there and moving in here now. Starting to. High thin sheet of clouds. And we also have, the jet stream pattern has flipped in a short period of time due to that MJO switch. Now you got a ridge poking up toward the Aleutians, which is favorable for colder weather over North America. It's all in the positioning of that jet stream. And I said that how the winter turns out depends on how successful they are in manipulating that MJO to stay in the warmer phases. If they're not very successful at it, it could lead to a winter to remember for the U.S. If nature takes its course on things, it's just a huge blowdown. So yeah, we're going to have a series of winter storms coming across the U.S. in the coming days. They're going to deposit perhaps record amounts of snow over the Midwest, especially. Here locally, the local forecast isn't calling for much snow. It's going to probably be a 33-degree rain type situation here, which still for early December is pretty chilly. I mean, maybe a little bit of snow beginning perhaps tomorrow morning. And then the next system on Tuesday, perhaps similar scenario here. And a cold 32, 33 degree rain. Whereas Midwest is going to get dumped down with more snow. So yeah. The weather's definitely, benign pattern is definitely a fading memory right now for the U.S. Due again to that MJO shift. The sun, as well, is remaining on a waning activity level. Counts have been significantly below 100 the last few weeks, and we're not predicting it to go below 100 till next year, well into next year, but it's already been consistently below 100 for the last few weeks. So we're definitely heading into the descent to the next minimum for the 11-year cycle. We'll have to see what plays out. a lot of undergrowth along this trail. It is a very old road, it appears, that follows the side of Middle Mountain, which is right there. It's up pretty high. And yeah, I gotta start heading down soon as that sun is getting low in the sky. Another big board down here. Yeah, I saw a post today that Gaylord, Michigan set a snowfall record for Thanksgiving of 13.1 inches. Eclipsing record set just 2 years ago, 2023. I think it was 10.7. Due to that intense system that moved through. And again, it's going to be more of the same coming up in the coming days. So usually what I do heading back down is especially if I'm coming down to the top of Middle Mountain, I go over that way. There's a trail over in that direction that will faint trail, similar to this, takes me down to this one, and then I come over this way. And you can see there's a spur ridge that goes down that way, and that's where I usually go to head down. This trail or road continues on. Right, I come off it just up ahead here. Yeah, this is where I usually start heading down. You can see straight ahead there's that spur ridge that comes off the mountain. I usually take that down, and I have a choice to either continue on the spur ridge, go all the way down to Potts Creek, or I can take a different trail that will get me to Paint Bank, and then I could walk the road home. Not sure which I'm going to do yet, but this is going to be it. I will be back soon. Hope you enjoyed this hike along side of Middle Mountain. I'll be back soon.